emulate. Welcome. Sorry we are late. We had some technical difficulties I'm going to have to deal with going forward, but it would happen on the last day of our show. Much Ado About Nothing presents 6 divisions, 6 weeks. The last division on the docket, the Atlantic Division. Unfortunately, I didn't time it specifically the way I wanted, so we ended up having the last show on the week of. So we already had 2 days worth of NBA, and we could talk some of that while we're at it. But we will be previewing the Atlantic Division as we do that. So before we get that started and get into all the stuff and cool shit, let's introduce ourselves. Jawan.
What's going on, guys? I'm very excited to talk the Atlantic Division. Best division in basketball. Cough, cough.
Can't argue with that. Prime, do you agree?
All good. And I definitely agree with that, man. Glad to be here. Looking forward to chopping it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Didge, talk to me, buddy. What do you think?
Fuck the other teams in my division, so sure, I don't care. I care about one team in the Central Division, so sure. But yeah, what's up, y'all? Happy to be here.
That's what's up. Alrighty. Let's get into it then. So.
Oh, that's right. That's me.
What? Oh yeah. Well, don't worry. I'll tell you when to move. So as of right now, we're going to start with the Atlantic Division. Sorry. Let's go to the next slide. Let's start with the first team, the Boston Celtics. Alrighty. Ooh, sorry. So this is the Boston Celtics as they are presently constituted. I have obviously, they've already played this week, so I got our first look. We got our first look at what their starting lineup will be. At least for now, it's looking like Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Sam Hauser, and Neemias Queta. Returning players is the injured Jason Tatum. Now, of course, he might be out for the whole season, unfortunately. But definitely would be starting otherwise. Jordan Walsh, Xavier Tillman, Baylor Sharman. Several new additions. They've made a lot of changes. We'll get into that. Anthony Simons from the Blazers, Chris Boucher from the Raptors, Luka Garza from Minnesota, Josh Bynot from Minnesota, the rookie Hugo Gonzalez, two-way players Ron Harper Jr., Max Shulga, and Amari Williams. I believe Ron Harper Jr. was on Detroit last year. But yeah, this is the new Boston Celtics. They went obviously through some major changes after last year. Tatum got hurt during the conference semifinals, I believe, right? Second round.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, tore his ACL, and obviously he's going to be out a while now. So once that became a reality, and then we found out actually recently what was wrong with KP. I think it's called the POTS or some shit, some weird disease, it's heart rate, something like that. So that we finally figured out what that was. Unfortunately, he's no longer with the Celtics. He's been traded to Hawks. But this is what it looks like now. Honestly, I still think they can be a force, not a major force. No, play-in force is kind of where I'm leaning towards. I do like this, the Peyton Pritchard, who I believe he was sixth man of the year last year, right? I believe he was. Peyton Pritchard now starting. Derek White, who has been a fringe all-star for the last couple of years while being a Celtic. Jaylen Brown, who's a perennial all-star lately. Sam Hauser, who's more or less came off. He's like the bench shooter. And Queta, who's now getting a much bigger role as the starting center. But he'll probably be in rotation there with Tillman and Garza. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is definitely not the team that once was, or near, not even the team that was that won the championship. They lost with the injury to Tatum and losing KP and Holiday, Horford, who's now in Golden State officially. We didn't really talk about that because at the time he wasn't signed there, but that's where he was going. This is where we're at. This is where they are. And like I said, I think I do see them as more of a play-in team, going in maybe a bottom half playoff team. But it is what it is. They're going through it right now. They're trying to reestablish themselves as a force. Once Tatum and Brown are fully healthy, I think they can get there. But we'll see. Let's start. Didge, talk to me about the Celtics.
Tatum also is Achilles, by the way. I was going to let you finish before I said anything. It was an ACL, which is much worse.
My bad.
Achilles, Achilles, I feel like it's much worse.
Sure.
Because we've seen them play once, I'm going to use this to basically do a very, Monday morning overreaction off of what I've seen from the one game I've seen so far. They're in trouble. They're able to kind of keep up with the 76ers, which we'll talk about them later more in depth. I think that's not one of the premier teams in the Eastern Conference. So the fact that they kind of struggle to keep up there, I think your play-in estimation is probably their ceiling. Now, will they be one of the home teams in those two play-in games or not? I don't know. But I think them losing Tatum was a lot more of a blow than I think even a lot of Boston fans want you to believe right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't really argue with any of that. I do think they have enough to possibly, like I said, be a play-in team. I don't know if they're going to bottom out. I just don't think – I think they're too good to bottom out. But they don't have the depth to compete. And
yeah, don't get me wrong. They're not going to not play. I guess that's not technically playoff basketball, but it's essentially playoff basketball.
Right. I get what you're saying. And look, like I said, it's going to be tough, but we'll see. I don't want to count them out. They have a good coach. They still have decent players. So I'll never sleep on them, but we'll see. Juwan, what do you think about the Celtics?
I disagree. I won't look too much into that yesterday. That kid, that shooting guard, he was on fire. I mean, that kid was just on fire.
We'll get to him.
Kind of feel like it's just, I don't know. You kind of look at Pritchard and you go, where's your bench when Derek White and Pritchard are both in your starting lineup? I just think if you're the Celtics, because remember the biggest thing we were talking about a while ago was we were trying to figure out the Simons trade, right? Like what did you really gain there? Except for the idea of he's a really good player. You at any point could flip, right? So it's like that is an asset that they could flip to maybe fit whatever their needs at the time around the trade deadline are. To me, Jaylen Brown can still play at an all-star level. It's hard for me to think that they can't be 6, 7, or 8. If they're not, then all those conversations about Jaylen Brown being better than Jason Tatum, we might have to revisit those conversations. If he can at least keep them around 6, 7, or 8. I'm not talking anything higher than that. But if you're an all-star caliber player, I think you should be able to keep your team. I think that's reasonable. 6, 7, or 8 with the team, currently constructed. So I think
do want to point out that 2 of the 3 rankings that you gave are play-in rankings. Like 7 or 8, you're in the play-in, as me and Joel were saying.
Oh wait, I thought play-in was 9 and 10.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
9 and 10.
Oh, I thought it was just 9 and 10. I don't know why I thought that.
It's so
okay, that's fair then. Okay.
Yeah, so my bad. But okay, then I think they could shoot for 6.
Yeah, fair.
At best 6. Okay.
I think at best 6 to avoid playing. I think they can. And look, if Jason Tatum wants to be the Adrian Peterson of basketball and can come back, I think that team can stay alive long enough for that to mean something.
If he can't come back, they will be definitely more deadly.
Do you want him to come back though? Like and obviously we still have to get to Prime, so I don't want to harp on it too long. But he comes back and claims that he can play, let's say, end of February, middle of March at the latest. Do you really want him back for those 6 weeks where you're, quote unquote, fighting for your playoff lives and knowing how much the intensity ramps up in the playoffs?
Yes. Because
you do, and risk that?
Yes, because if he comes back, that means your doctors gave the all go. If doctors gave the all go, then he's good to go.
Excuse me.
Look. Let me say this specifically, and then Prime and pass it right to you. I say you say yes to that because I don't know what doctors gave Joel Embiid the okay yesterday. Because I don't know what the fuck that was. If you're willing for him to play, then yeah, why not? Why can't Tatum play?
Only reason I say that is because everybody brings up the Kobe fact of like, oh, he came back right after his Achilles tear, started the next season. What they don't bring the point up is he played 6 games that season. So it's like, do you really want to do that?
I mean, look, I'll say this. I will never. Oh, wait. I don't know what just happened.
I think you chose the different like layout.
Hold on. I don't know. Jeez, bear with us, guys.
That kind of day.
I don't know. What just happened? I was scratching my head. I didn't even know I hit something. Goodness gracious.
Oh.
Everything but today.
Everything. Crazy.
It's one more over, I think.
You might have to reshare it.
No, it's still shared. I can see it. You just bring it back up onto the screen. Yeah.
There it is.
There we go. Okay, hands off of the screen, apparently. I'm just saying, to me, it's what you pay these guys for. It's what you want from your best players. It's why I appreciated Kat yesterday saying, I wanted to play for the fans. Like, I wasn't healthy necessarily to play, but I wanted to do it for the fans. So I'm like, if he thinks he can and the doctors give him the all clear,
okay.
Yeah. By all means, absolutely. I wouldn't necessarily want anyone from my team to do that stupid ass shit, but
okay, that's what it is. Okay,
go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
I mean, I guess it depends where they're at in the rankings. For me,
fair.
Because if they're like fighting, if they're like a lower half seed, like, and they know they're over, like if there are other injuries to worry about too, not just Tatum, I mean, just sit down, don't worry about it. But if like they're all healthy and ready to go and they're looking good, and he's that final piece, and they can possibly make a push, because definitely him being healthy would be even 50% of Jason Tatum's gonna help.
Yeah, fair.
That's not bad.
I'm just talking about for the future, but you're right.
Right? No, I understand. I get that. I like looking like long term wise. If he's not healthy enough and they feel like he needs more time, don't even take that chance. Not even a little bit. But
my fault to derail us a little bit.
No, that's why we're here. Prime. How about Beantown? Talk about Beantown.
Very interesting. Joe Mazzulla is going to have to probably have a feeling out process with this, because if you look at all the players that are missing, key players, and everybody's talking about just Jason Tatum, but there's a Drew Holiday missing. Porzingis, for the time that you had him when he was on the court, that created a whole nother dynamic for this team. So I think offensively and defensively, the way they play is going to be a lot different. I think offensively, I saw something when Mazzulla was talking about him wanting to change the pace up, and they even may attempt to play even quicker with this lineup. So how they're able to do that is going to be something to watch. Now, defensively, to me, is going to be a thing. I think with the lineup they had last year, you could go more one-on-one. You could play a lot of man. In this lineup, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. How much they're going to be able to do that. I would expect them to change the defensive strategy to the point whereas they may rely more in some cases on double teams. Maybe some sort of zone. But I don't think they're going to be able to defend, and I think that's going to be just as big. They won't be able to defend the same way. I think that's going to be just as big as losing some of the players that they lost. So I think the play-in area is fair in this scenario. The one thing talking about defense, though, is they're going to have to see what they get throughout the season from Simons. That's always been a question for Simons on, is he a good defender or not? And most people didn't think he was a good defender. He's going to have to play defense and of that game here. He seemed to be okay, but we got a full season to think about that. But he's going to have to up his defensive intensity. But I think that the play-in area is probably what we're looking at for sure.
I agree.
Did y'all see their center play yesterday? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so he just
Keita.
center.
Keita.
Is it Cato? Okay. He looked pretty good. I mean, obviously it's one game. He looked really good.
Not bad. He had a decent. Yeah, he played during the summer, the European thing too. He played for Portugal. Did you know he's Portuguese?
I did.
Oh yeah. So I
googled him. I was trying to see how to pronounce his name. Nothing popped up with it.
Keita. Yeah.
I end by saying I just want to say I think I'm pay attention to the rotations in this thing because like I mentioned at the beginning, it's going to be a figuring out process. And last year they had the luxury of going going deep into that bench. Once they figure this thing out. I mean, how deep is he really going to go? Is he going to try to shorten the rotations a little bit after he really figures out what he's working with? Because there were games I was sitting and watch Boston go 10 deep. Easy go 9, 10 deep. I don't think he's going to have that luxury by choice this year at all. And that's going to be something to watch.
How far into they go yesterday?
They definitely had moments yesterday. Like they were trying out things. Like I know they brought out Tillman. Garza, I think he ended up getting a concussion. But Garza went out there. I think not the only guy that got concussion yesterday. It's pretty interesting. Boucher got some minutes. Simons obviously got minutes, and mine not. I'm not sure if it went past that. Maybe.
Yeah, they only played 10 yesterday. They got 4.
So, I don't know if it's going to be 10 on the rig. I guess what I'm saying. I see some teams doing that. I don't know that they're going to be close to that. So
you can kind of tell that they were trying out a lot of things. Like looking at the minutes. Simons is the only one who got like significant minutes, like that are close to starting minutes. Yeah,
easily. There's no doubt. He's like, the thing is after Simons, there's a complete drop off, and it's like,
you can kind of tell from the production.
Yeah, it's just like it's a giant drop off. You're gonna need someone to step up. Maybe it's one of these young guys. You never know, but they're not there yet. No. So right now they're trying to figure out. Even Sam Hauser, like how many minutes did Sam play yesterday?
22.
I said I had to be around about 20 minutes.
Because they trust Sam, but like if they could find someone else to fill in some of those minutes, they will. Like Nine got them some of those minutes, but again, Boucher didn't get enough minutes in my opinion. But I don't know. They're different, and this is why they start the year. They test things out. A lot of it's just kind of like mixing and matching until something works.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so that's the Boston Celtics. We're going to move on to the Brooklyn Nets, please, Tidge.
We are there.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at my screen. Okay. So, the Nets. We're going to BK. Woof. All righty. So, Brooklyn. Again, I'm so saying projected starters. Starters as of yesterday. Last night. Were Ben Seraph, Cam Thomas, Terrence Mann, Michael Porter Jr., Nick Claxton. Returning reserves, Zaire Williams, Day'Ron Sharpe, Noah Clowney, Jalen Wilson, Tyrese Martin, Tyson Etienne, two-way. New addition reserves, Haywood Highsmith, who's currently injured, Igor Demon, the rookie, who I think will eventually be the starting point guard at some point. At least I know they want him to be. Nolan Traore, another rookie point guard. They drafted 3 point guards, just so you know. And all different sizes. Danny Wolf, center. Drake Powell, wing, and AJ Little on the two-way. So this is what the Nets look like as of right now. They basically they did not have a great day yesterday. I think let me see, I'm trying to think. So they played Zaire, they played Day'Ron, Clowney, Martin. They may have played. I think they played Igor.
Oh, I can go to the box score and help you with it.
Okay, yeah. I'm doing this off the top of my head. I think even Jalen got some minutes, but
the only player who didn't get minutes is Danny Wolf, and it makes sense because he's hurt, so he's not playing tomorrow either.
Yeah, Danny's hurt. But like the only reason I don't have him listed as hurt because I'm like Hayward's going to be out for like more than a month.
Yeah, it
So, like,
seems like with him, they're sort of taking it day by day. Like I think they
day.
said it yesterday, like, hey, he's not going to play tonight. And
Right.
when I just saw the ESPN alert thing, it said it for tomorrow. So it's like I think he's probably going to play Sunday.
Okay. All right. Well, even if he gets in the rotation, it's going to be tough unless they play like 12 people, which it's possible.
I mean, they played almost everybody yesterday.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, they did get blown out at one point, so they were just throwing people out there. So we'll see. I mean, they are big. Like Ben Sarah is a big point guard. I think he's like 6'6". Cam small, so they offset each other very well. But he's a great scorer. Now, didn't have the best scoring game yesterday. Terrence Mann, I always thought would be a good wing for them. Michael Porter Jr. did have a good game. Nick Claxton did a below average game for me. I don't know. He was doing so well, but last year he kind of had a down year, and I was expecting him to maybe have a better year this year. Off to a slow start. Obviously, just only a one game. We'll see. I like a lot of their young talent. Like I really do. Like Zaire Williams has some it in him. Day'Ron Sharp and Clowney, I like. Wilson. Haywood Heisman, if healthy, is really good. Igor Demon actually had a pretty good game. But I don't know. The Brooklyn Nets are expected to fight for that, in my opinion, that lottery pick. That's what they're going to be fighting for. They won't tell you that. That's their championship. If they can they got screwed a little bit last year for that number one pick. So they're going to be one of those lottery fighting teams. I was going to say like Utah, but who saw that coming yesterday? Not me. So you never know. You never fucking know. Now it's only one game, but Brooklyn is off to a slow start, and we'll see if they can recover from that. Didge, talk to me about Brooklyn.
I think you said pretty much what I was going to say. They're definitely fighting for a lottery, but I thought they were in a rebuild anyway, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Having 5 rookies, that's in theory, that's great for the future, right? Like knowing that you don't have a bona fide set starter, especially because, like you said, 3 of them are guards. So you got a chance.
And as far as a normal size, but Demon and Sarah are huge. Like Demon's like 6'9", Sarah's like 6'6".
Oh Jesus, yeah. So you got a chance to, at a lot of key positions, set up your base for the future. Now you have to hope that they all pan out for that to work. You know, we've seen it work in situations, we've seen it fail.
Right.
But I mean, this year is sort of just like, hey, we're setting ourselves up for the future. They shouldn't have much hopes outside of that. And like you said, we see what type of lottery or what type of draft picks that we can get for next year to continue to build for the future.
Absolutely. Like they're definitely going to trade off some of the pieces that they could.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they didn't want to invest Cam Thomas in Cam Thomas long term, so he will be an unrestricted free agent come this summer, the next summer. I'm sorry. And I look forward to seeing if he stays or goes. Doubt he stays, considering how that went. But Michael Porter Jr. is the big contract player on this team. Can he lead this team to a play-in?
No, I think he's really there to sort of help be that mentor to the young guys. Just like, hey,
that and fill that cap space. They need that money. That's all it is. They literally signed guys to hit the threshold, dude. Not even the tax threshold. This regular. There's a certain amount you have to hit. They signed guys, so they were giving out guaranteed deals on purpose, so they could cut them and they put them on the books. That's crazy.
They also wanted to hope that he plays well enough that you can sort of change him into more picks.
That's fair. I mean, that's absolutely fair. If he plays out of his mind and like during the trade deadline, I mean, make that move. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And that goes for almost all the guys on the starting lineup, almost except for obviously Ben. Prime, tell me about Brooklyn.
Really not much to say, man. It's another 20-some-ish win season, maybe. As you guys stated, there's tons of youth on it, and it seems like they're fine with that. I mean, they pretty much state their claim last year that they were fine with, trying to figure this thing out, whether it meant taking on, certain contracts, shipping people out, dealing with some young guys. And I think just about all of these young guys, these rookies, I think they're going to play. We were sitting there joking about them playing 12 people, man,
Yeah.
they might play 10, 11 people. I'm telling you, per game, because they have a lot to figure out here.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know that Cam Thomas and Porter are going to be counting on for the scoring.
Yep.
Defensively, they're not going to be a good defensive team whatsoever. I mean, not even close. If we're talking about trade, I know that Highsmith's just coming in. You know, how long does he stay there? I think he's
Right.
he's a piece that can be valuable to somebody when
Yep.
they decide they want to start making the move.
Mhm.
Terrence Mann, the same. I think Terrence Mann. I don't know if Terrence Mann finished the season
Yep.
with Brooklyn, to be honest with you. But they seem to be a team that they're content. They're fine with knowing, hey, we're in a rebuild. We got a lot to figure out, and they're willing to wait. They just got to figure out is Jordi Fernandez the guy that they
Mhm.
Is he the coach that can help develop these young guys, or
He got the
if
patience so
if he
far.
isn't? But I think they like him. I think they like him.
I think so too. I think him and what's his name from Utah? Oh my God. Fuck.
No, you talking about
Hardy? Is it Hardy? I forget.
Utah coach, that's a good question. By the way, Prime, to your point about them not playing a lot, nobody on their team played more than 25 minutes yesterday.
really?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Tyrese Martin played 26 minutes. So realistically,
there you
I'm
go.
sorry, one more
Tyrese
minute.
Martin, the bench player, got insane.
He
Yeah.
had 20 that's
That's
the
what I'm
most
telling
anybody
you.
else played.
That's what I'm telling you. They want to see what they have.
That's fair.
They're fine knowing, hey, we got 26 last year. It might be a stretch to get that 26. This year. We don't know.
Yeah, 7
But
players.
they seem to be fine with it. That's the approach they want to take, and that's what's going to happen.
That's fair. Will Hardy is the coach. But yeah, guys like that are kind of like going suffering right now with these teams. And I think they'll probably hold on until, unless I don't know. I don't know how you fire these guys knowing that you're just there to develop, right?
Yeah,
It's not on them.
Well,
You're
no,
giving
but
them no
that's
talent.
but that's exactly what they're there for. Unfortunately, I do think it's all right. Development time is over. We know what we got. We're going out to get a coach who we know who we think.
Well, except with the rookies. I mean,
yeah.
The rookies, you got, there's some promise there.
Yeah, they have. They it was not a. I don't know. It was not a bad draft, obviously, but I mean, weird to draft 3 point guards. But at the same time, they're so versatile in size. They can probably play more than just the one. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're very much going to be. They're scratching for that lottery. It's going to be fun to watch that. And look, it's going to be fun to see what pick they eventually get, because like I said, they really did kind of get screwed last year.
They're hoping they can get one of the Boozer brothers.
I can see that. I mean, there's some fun prospects this year. That's what they're looking for. And I don't know if there's anyone as popping his flag this year. Like I don't. It's too early for me to be paying attention to that. But I look forward to eventually figuring out who the eventual number one prospect is. We'll get there. Jawan, do you have anything to say about the BK Nets?
I slightly disagree. I kind of think
playoff
you don't fire the head coach. I kind of feel like the only way you
fire I don't think so, yeah.
The only way you fire the head coach is if somehow some budding superstar is dumb enough to request a trade, and this team is the team lucky enough to try to give a war chest to go get someone like that, then it's like, yeah, your timetable speeds itself up. So, yeah, you don't go with the guy that might be a long-term development guy. You go with a coach that can get it done ASAP.
I don't think anybody's saying they should be fired.
Right. Oh, no. No one was saying that. I'm just saying, I kind of see this team a lot like how I kind of see the Bulls, right? And it's like they're not firing that guy anytime soon. But I also think he has illegal stuff on them or something. I see. Me and Joel were talking about this earlier today, but this is another one of those teams that should be investigated, because it's like you had at some point, and again, they were extremely old, but you had you had Paul Pierce, Garnett, Darren Williams, right? That didn't work. Years later, you get KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. That didn't work. I just don't know how many more gifts this franchise can be offered that they squander as quickly as they do, mind you. So I just don't know the direction of this team. They're
rebuilding. I mean, that's it. That's where they're at.
Yeah, but
Pretty
this team
much.
always goes through like a rebuild, make the playoffs, go try to get either old superstars or middle-aged superstars, and then repeat the cycle.
Yeah,
so,
that's
I think
their life.
before they were trying to do it too fastly. Like they would get, like you said, they would go to the playoffs and like, all right, well, time is now.
Yeah. The last time their young team got them to the playoffs by themselves, that's the D'Lo team. D'Lo's an all-star.
They responded
and then they went all
by
in,
saying we need Durant and Kyrie, and it was just like, whoa,
I mean,
whoa.
No one was saying no to that either.
No. I'm not saying that, but you got rid of all that young talent to bring in KD and Durant, and James Harden, and it didn't work. And then boom, gone, done.
And they had a good coach too. You
didn't really have anything to show for it. So, but look, I have no love lost for this team. I remember Nick Claxton came into this league when he was with Durant and Kyrie.
That's right.
Spewing that bullshit of,
I
don't know what it's like to lose to the Knicks. I ain't never lose to the Knicks. And that nigga has consistently lost to the Knicks since. So I wish that
since that day, too.
Or forever. So no love lost here, but I'm with Joel. They're aiming for that first overall pick.
They'll never win again until Dick Claxton is gone. That's the curse that's been put upon them.
That is the curse. Wait, Didge, what was that curse called? The Stanley Yelnats? What was the curse from home?
Oh, the Stanley Yelnats curse?
Yeah, they got the Stanley Yelnats curse. Dick Claxton is gone.
That's it. He opened his mouth. No one told him to.
It was just such a random thing to say. The man had just came into the league and was like, I don't know what it's like to lose to the Knicks. You just got here, dog. Like, you just got here, man. Give it some time. And surely enough, came full circle.
Sure, it happens all the time.
Are y'all going to issue an apology if by some miracle they beat y'all?
No, because our case isn't that they can't beat us. Our case is that since he said that, he has not beaten the Knicks since.
Okay, that's fair.
If it happens, it happens. No biggie.
We're just saying they got close
at
one point last year.
That when you just came into the league, it's crazy.
Yeah,
y'all had a rough night that night.
Yeah,
there
was one game where fucking Cam Thomas was like,
no, Joel, you're thinking two games. So the first game you're thinking about is that year where we had Randall and we just got OG. That was the block, and then the throwdown. Julius Randle got the dunk. And then you're talking about last year where Cam Thomas went unconscious for 45. We had to get the Brunson game-winning 3 with the Bridges block close.
Yeah, it was close.
That game,
Close,
yeah. Cam Thomas, for some reason, when he plays the Knicks, he turns into prime Jordan. Outside of that, he's just.
I mean, that seems to be a thing for certain players in this league. They see red when they see the orange and blue. That's it.
Yeah, that is true.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
True. That is 100%
anyway.
True.
Let's move on to the next team. We've talked enough Brooklyn Nets. To the Philadelphia 76ers. Yay! Oh, sorry.
Man said, yeah, you good, dog?
You spending too much time in Philly, Joel?
Yeah, I'm too close.
I be hearing you be making trips.
I do. I was there. I'm there. I'm too close too often. It's annoying. But here we are talking to Philly, and I know how excited they are for their Sixers. Not that excited. And let's go over their starters. We have Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre Jr., Dominic Barlow, as of right now, Joel Embiid, returning reserves, the injured Paul George.
Great.
What happened?
Two-way to starter is crazy.
I know. That was my first. You know what's funny about Dominic Barlow? He got some starts last year in Atlanta too. So I'm like, this guy's doing something right. Wherever he goes, even on the two-way, he's starting. Like not all the time, but he's still getting them starts. So props to him. Anyway, Paul George was injured. That's why he's not starting. Jared McCain also injured, unfortunately. Quentin Grimes, the returning Quentin Grimes, he was out there. It was, it was a little weird out there for during the summer. Adem Bona, Justin Edwards, Andre Drummond, Kyle Lowry, and Eric Gordon. Retiring right there in Philly. New additions: Trenton Watford, Johnny Broom, the rookie; Hunter Salas, the rookie; Jabari Walker. On two ways. Salas and Walker on two ways. All right, so the Sixers. Shit. We got to see them ball out a little bit yesterday. They got they. How what was the score? I know it was close between Philly and Boston.
117-116.
There you go. 1 point game. Fucking the backcourt of Maxey and Edgecombe, I think went for like
74.
Oh my God! Was it
Yeah.
74? Jesus.
40 for Maxey, 34 for Edgecombe.
They were unconscious. Like this backcourt is scary. Maxey alone used to be scary. And I got him in one of the most athletic guards I've seen come out of college in a minute, in Edgecombe. Not that we played them in the preseason, so we got a little bit of a taste of it. Oubre continues to be Oubre, and Embiid had a terrible game on his return final. It was the first time we've seen him in a while. He did. What did he have? What, 4 6 points, whatever that?
4.6 rebounds.
Yeah, not good game in 20 minutes, I think it was?
Yeah, 1 for 9 is cool.
So he was very. Ugh. So, Embiid is going to take a little bit to get warmed up if he plays again. We'll see. Never know with this man. As of right now, he's playing. So, didn't have a good game one. We'll see if he bounces back in game two. Paul George, I heard, was close to returning. He's actually practicing. They just didn't want to bring him out for game one. So he'll be back. Jared McCain, I don't know. He might be out a little bit. Actually, I have a rating. I know he has. I think it was his thumb that he injured.
Oh, I can take a look too.
I have it here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, UCL tear in his right thumb. Oof, that sounds like it hurts. I'm not sure how long. I don't know which hand it is either. It could be if it's a shooting hand, it might be a little bit longer than we don't see his man. But it sucks.
Apparently, he's doing conditioning work and feels like he's in game shape. So it sounds like they're at least getting there.
He's ramping up. Okay.
Yeah,
because it's sad. I feel bad at this point because he tore something last year. He didn't finish the year. He was out for the season. He finally coming back, and I heard it again. Like, man, this man has no luck. Poor guy. I mean, because he's all smiles too. So hopefully he gets. I mean, with him healthy and VJ and Maxey, that's a hell of a three. Those three guards and Grimes, like that's nasty. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. If Paul George can stay healthy, we'll see. Oubre is consistently the only guy that can stay healthy, and then Embiid, we'll see. That's not that right there. Just that is not bad. That's not a bad way to start it. And then you got everyone else. Like I know they like Bona. I'm sorry. And he plays well, not bad. And Justin Edwards also, no, they like him. He barely played yesterday, but very, very little. I don't know if the old guys are going to get much minutes, Lowry or Eric Gordon, and they probably shouldn't with that guard lineup. They don't really need to, honestly. And look, Dominic Barlow seems to be impressing to Philly. I'm pretty sure if he plays, don't get me wrong, if he plays enough, he will have to come out of the two-way, and they'll probably end up signing him with like legit. Hopefully for him, that's what happens. I did expect what's his name to get minutes actually. I think it was Watford, but I think he's also injured, which sucks because I think he could help. Anyway, Philly, if healthy, I do believe they can make the playoffs if healthy. My problem is I don't trust them to be healthy at all. So like unless I need to see where they're at after. I don't want to say by the All-Star break, but maybe that's what it is. Maybe if All-Star break, if Joel Embiid and Paul George have played a decent amount of games by then, and they're not if they're not always injured or not out, and the Philly like above water, then maybe they can actually be a legit playoff team. I think they can, but I don't know if that backcourt is going to be enough to keep them above water. Not if everybody else is hurt. I just don't know. But don't get me wrong, they're going to try. That fucking team is those guards are good. They're kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see what happens. Let's start with Jawan. What do you think about Philly?
I immediately thought of a 3-team trade with the way Joel Embiid was playing yesterday. He looked like I was telling Dig and Prime. I was telling Joel he looked like he had no lift, like he couldn't jump. And I'm like, that's not good. Like I was watching him try to get rebound just by keeping his feet on the floor, and I'm like, there's no jumping for any rebound, no nothing, no contested, nothing. You're just gonna flat foot all game. I'm gonna say Joel, and this is putting too much pressure on this kid, but if VJ can play even 50% of what he did yesterday, I do believe that they could be very competitive for playing. Extremely competitive for playing. And then who knows, maybe if Embiid and Paul George can start to around the second half of that season stay healthy, maybe you can do more than that. Maybe you can try to get yourself in that 5-6 area. I don't know. To me, I always thought it was confusing, knowing that you have the problems that you have with Joel Embiid staying healthy, going out and getting Paul George. Yes, sounds good, but it's a Paul George that tends to be just as injury prone as Joel Embiid. So it's like, it was a match made in heaven 5 years ago. I think now you're not getting enough out of that. You know what I'm saying? Out of that pairing. And last thing I'll say is a trade that I thought could work that would help everyone out. Jesus, Jamie, Jesus Christmas. I'm putting it on the screen.
We know that that's a lie. It looked good yesterday, though.
That's what it was. It's a sports betting that kept him
up. Yeah, it had nothing to do with Michael Jordan purposely sabotaging for all those years. Anyway, so the just throwing this out there, the trade that I thought could work because it helps everyone's timeline. I thought doing a 3-way trade between the Sixers, the Lakers, and Utah Jazz. I thought what would be helpful is putting Walker Kessler in Philly, putting Joel Embiid in LA, and putting Ayton in Utah. Mainly because you're Utah and you're not looking to be competitive or actually to do anything but get a number 1 pick, right? So who cares if Ayton goes there and is completely trash? If you're the Lakers, your roster is majority the AARP club, right? So welcome in Joel Embiid, right? And at least if he's healthy and LeBron's healthy, they can make a lot of noise. Walker Kessler showed the other day, him at his best could really help out this Sixers team, especially him staying healthy and whatnot. So I'm like, I think that's a trade that could work for everyone. You know, obviously you got to put picks and maybe other players in there or whatnot. But if that's the framework of it, I definitely think that could help out all teams. I think especially with Maxey and VJ, maybe you get a healthy Paul George and you put that with Walker Kessler. That's not bad at all. That's not a bad starting 5. And you can at least be a lot more competitive than you are with will he or won't he stay healthy Joel Embiid. So, yeah.
Yeah. Problem is, it's a toxic contract now, and that contract is high. It's not like it's gonna be cheap to get Embiid.
You're not wrong, but if you're the Lakers, right, and you're trying to figure out ways to knock off teams like OKC, a somewhat healthy Joel Embiid to go with a somewhat healthy LeBron and Luka, it's kind of worth it, right? Knowing that LeBron's coming off the books in maybe a year or two.
A year. No, a year. I mean, I'm not sure he's coming back next year, honestly.
Okay, maybe in a year then. I'm like, why not? If you're the Lakers, why not go all in, right? Like, why not?
I don't know if that's smart for the Lakers, but they want to self-sabotage by all means.
I thought Juwan was just trying to sabotage him. I was like, oh, okay.
No. Just really quick thing to say here. It's not me sabotaging, and I don't think it's a bad idea because, again, if Embiid can be healthy with LeBron and with Luka, I don't see a downside, if healthy, with putting those three together. Is all I'm saying. I don't see the downside there.
That's too much of it. That's taking too much of a chance. If I'm them, I'm like that's taking a hell of a chance. And
I don't trust that Embiid's going to stay healthy.
Yeah, I definitely don't believe Embiid can stay healthy. And LeBron already starting to hurt, and I don't know how invested he is anymore in LA. Yeah, I don't know. And you know, Joel can't jump. Imagine like throwing lobs and someone that's not going to jump.
Right.
I don't know what other avenues you have then if you're the Lakers, because what I saw the other day, that's not getting you to the NBA Finals.
I mean, we talked so a week ago, man. So, like,
no, I just thought that they were better than the Houston Rockets.
Still feel that way?
LeBron didn't play yet. I can't judge it yet.
I'm just saying.
Let's see when LeBron gets back.
That Rockets team took the defending champs to double overtime.
Did they win?
They came close.
All right.
They came from free throws away.
If Shea made his goddamn free throws, they wouldn't even have to go that far. Goddamn free throws. Anyway, I'm sorry, Joel. That's it for me. Maybe 7 or 8 is kind of where I see this thing.
If healthy.
No. That's not what I'm saying. If healthy, they should be around 5 or 6. But if not healthy, I think Maxey can still lead whatever the remaining is of this team to 7 or 8.
I mean, yeah, Maxey. I mean, not just Maxey. Now Maxey and VJ can definitely probably do it. I don't know about Maxey, but actually last year he couldn't do it. So we'll see this year. We'll see. Didge, what you think about?
Like I was saying during the Boston segment, I'm not super high on this team. Right. I do think a lot of what Juwan said is factual. Like if they're healthy, this, on paper, this team is amazing. Well, I'm not gonna say amazing. It's a little hyperbole there. They're good. They're really good.
Yeah.
But I don't trust that they'll be healthy. So I'm not even looking at that possibility of it. And as presently constructed, this is probably a play-in team. I'm going to say lower end of the play-in teams just because Maxey and we saw Edgecombe with one game. Is he going to do that all season?
Every game? Yeah.
Like, and so it's like Maxey, the one who we know will likely play really well, isn't going to be able to be enough to carry you in the East. At least he can pass the play-in.
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, talent-wise, like Juwan was saying, they could be top 5 if they were healthy. If they were healthy. Problem is, I don't believe they can stay healthy, especially between George and Embiid. So without them, they're a playing team at best because they do have enough talent possibly to do that. Because I did like what I saw out of Maxey and Edgecombe, and you know, you still got Oubre, and you still have Abona and Grimes. So there's talent, and if McCain can get healthy, there's talent there. Again, talking about injury, fucking Jerry McCain can't stay healthy. So it's like there's no, even the young guys can't stay healthy. It's kind of sad. They're a mystery. Let's say that. Play-in team at worst. Let's say playoff team, legit. If at best, like lower playoff. That's 5. So all right, Prime. What do you think?
It's health. That's what it is. I have more faith in Michael Porter Jr.'s brother getting back in the league than I do with this team being healthy. Like, going to
in jail, no?
I got 41 games from Paul George last year. Embiid is Embiid. I mean, he's going to get hurt. I mean, it's going to happen. Can they keep these other people off the injury report? Very encouraging what we saw from Edgecombe, of course. That was phenomenal, actually, the performance he put on. Him and Maxey going to definitely be fun to watch. But, man, we're assuming. So even we're assuming, let's just say these guys do stay healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to mesh? You got to remember last year we got Maxey, Paul George, and Embiid on the court for 15 games. All the 15 games last year, they went like 7 and 8. So now you're adding another potential future NBA star and Edgecombe to the mix. Like, how is Nick Nurse really going to make this thing work? You know, how does he mess this thing all together. Get these guys, all on the same play so they can play and be a force in the league. I just don't see it happening. But they're not going to stay healthy, man. And they win more than the 24 they got. They won last year, provided there's enough time on the court. But they're not going to stay healthy. I'd even tell you that they're going to struggle to make the play
in.
That's just because I just have no faith in one of them. Maybe two of them. I don't.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, shit. It's hard to argue with that, honestly.
John Tay be back in the league next year.
Want to bet? I'm kidding. I'm sure he would. All right, so that's the Sixers as of right now. Let's move on to the next team, the Toronto Raptors of Canada, who actually had a pretty good game yesterday.
They played so well. I was about to text Juwan, like, didn't you tell me that this Hawks team was supposed to be elite? But I was like, this game one. Let me stop.
It's game one. Let's relax. But they did look good. They definitely did.
Hey, I wouldn't have minded that text. I pray on their downfall daily.
I mean, it is only game one, but the Raptors came to play. Their coach seemed very excited. I saw a video of him after the game. Woof, he was hyped. So let's go with the starters. Same as last year. Well, at least at the end of last year. I don't think BI played at all last year for Toronto after being traded. So Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, Jakob Poeltl. Returning reserves, Ochai Agbaji, Grady Dick, Jamal Sheed, Jacoby Walter, Jonathan Mogbu, Jamison Battle, Garrett Temple, AJ Lawson on a two-way. New additions, Sandro Mamukalashvili, former Buck, right? Buck.
Yep.
Colin Murray Bowles, the rookie. Elijah Martin, rookie. And Chucky Hepburn, rookie. Both of those guys on two ways. So the Raptors, they didn't make a lot of new moves. Obviously, the new moves, as you can see, were mostly draft picks and Sandro. But I think health is what they're looking for this year. The injuries played a big part of their season last year, especially between it quickly at first and then trading for Ingram and him never even playing a game. And then later on, Jakob got hurt. Injury just plagued them the rest of the season. So it was hard to be consistent with them. But when healthy, they have the talent, especially on paper. Look at that starting five. I love the starting five. Like RJ Barrett had a great game yesterday. Scotty Barnes had a good game. Ingram, Quickly, Poeltl. I mean, that's a good starting five. Your bench is not bad. It's pretty deep too. Like Agbaji's a good player. Grady Dick, I think, will be their sixth man this year. Good player. Jamal Sheed has been actually pretty damn good off the bench as well. I mean, they're deep enough to the point where I don't know if Jacoby Walter is going to get minutes. I mean, he will get minutes, but will he be part of the rotation? I don't know. He was pretty good last year, too. Mogbo, he's a kind of a small ball big. I like him. He got some minutes yesterday. They even gave Battle some minutes. He played minutes last year. Sandro's a pretty good big man. He had a good summer. Like, he was part of the Euro League or the Euro Championships.
He has good summers a lot, and let me tell you, they don't translate.
I mean, he had a great. What did he play for? What's he? Georgia. Yes, the Republic of Georgia. They had a good. He was, I think, their best player. Honestly, him or Batatse. Between the two of them, they had good. They were good. That might be. I don't know if it'll translate. Like they're just saying, and I don't always do that. Let me tell you, he killed us last year. We played. I think the Spurs. He was on the Spurs. He was, I don't know what came over him, but he was lights out with San Antonio. It was insane. I'm like, who is this man?
That's fair.
I'm like, what? Like, once in a while, he'll come out of nowhere and light you up. I'm like, I hate when that happens. I hate when, like, role player number 10 comes out of nowhere and fucks you up. But I just, it's so annoying. But yes, Toronto, I think they're very much a slept-on team because they're kind of, nothing really stands out to you. Not really. None of their stuff, because they have stars, but they're not budding stars. They're like superstars, right? They're like, a lot of them are just kind of still very much young. Aside from maybe BI, BI is like probably the only one he's been an all-star, but he's also dealt with injury the last couple of years. Can he come back and not get hurt? Scotty Barnes has been the best player on the Raptors for the last couple of years. Has been now the face of the Raptors. Can he continue to do that and maybe find a jump shot in between? And then you have RJ Barrett and IQ, former Knicks. We have a lot of love for them. RJ Barrett had a great fight. He was a fringe all-star last year, in my opinion. RJ was that good. If he's anything like that this year, he could possibly make the all-star team. I could see that, especially if Toronto actually is pretty good with him and can quickly stay healthy. He got paid and then got hurt. It was kind of the weirdest thing. And Nakapolo had an underrated season last year. I don't know how it's going to work out this year, but he was one of the better big men last year. Didn't get a lot of credit because no one really pays attention to Toronto. But we'll see. I mean, I look forward to seeing how this team progresses. Gage, what do you think about the Raptors?
They're very much an underrated team. They have a lot of people who, when you hear their name, I feel like people go, "Oh yeah, he's pretty good." Like I don't. Right. That's the level of like star power I think that they got. But
yep,
sometimes exactly right. That's like those sneaky good teams. So like I could for sure see this team as presented in that like play-in spot, but again in the sneaky good aspect of it, they somehow put it all together at the right time and like mess around and get like a 6 seed. And like one of the teams that we're expecting to be in that 5-6 spot actually falls into the play-in, I wouldn't be surprised because I like I said, they put it all together well enough.
Right. No, I agree. It's weird, but like you just said, but that's why they're so deep too, because even their bench guys are guys like that. They're like, oh, that guy's pretty good. They're just full of guys that guy's pretty good. They have a whole bunch of pretty good damn players. They're just no one's really a superstar. That's really what it comes down to. But yeah, we'll see. Jawan, what do you think about Toronto?
I mean, I like this. We talked about this before. I think for this team to have the ultimate success that they're looking for and trending upward, I don't realistically see a world where you can continue to have RJ, Scotty, and Brandon. One's got to go. It's probably, unfortunately, the hometown kid in RJ. So once they get, I mean, look, I could be wrong, and this could essentially work out very well. I've just never been the biggest fan pro-wise, because I know in college he was lethal, but pro-wise, I've never been the biggest fan of RJ shooting. He's a slasher. That's where he's most effective. Yeah. But that's essentially where Scotty is hanging out around at. So to me, I kind of find that the three of them who all need the ball, none of them are necessarily corner shooters. And then on top of that, quickly being your point guard. I see a mess happening there, like a logjam. But once they kind of free that up a little bit, I'm with Didge. This team could surprise people. The talent's there. It is there. It's riddled there. I think it's going to come down to, can one of those three guys that I named find a way to be useful outside of touching the basketball and coaching? I think those are going to be the two biggest things for this team in order for them to trend upward. And at least just, have like a competitive first round where they get knocked out, but, it's a building block for next year or something like that. But Ingram alone is a lot of talent for this roster. So putting it all together, like I said, coaching and then that logjam that they got between RJ, Scotty, and Brandon.
Yeah. Prime, what you think?
Almost like that Jawan was hit on that one. I don't know how much I like the reason for me is RJ Barrett, he's more than likely the third best player on this team, maybe. Right? And he had I'm I love RJ. But I'm taking Bonds and Brandon Ingram quickly before Scotty Bonds and Ingram, very fast. I'm even thinking about RJ Barrett. RJ's going to have his games. The shooting percentage is not going to always be there, but I think he has a problem realizing, the times that he needs to step back a little bit, and I think their most lethal two guys, and Brandon Ingram. Quick is normally healthy. He did catch a little, injury here last season, but he's a guy they're gonna be able to rely on, I think. Um, and other than that, looking at this team, man, Grady Dick. I think Grady Dick this year has to hold up a little bit better. I think early we saw some flashes early in the season, but if you watched him later on the season, it kind of like he kind of wore down a little bit. And I think this is a big season, kind of a bounce back for him, as a season as a whole. So you'll keep an eye on him to see how much he can help this team. I think he can help them a lot. I don't know if he was just not ready, poorly conditioned. I'm not quite sure, but his body did kind of take a toll last year when you watch him. But that being said, I mean, I think this team can be highly competitive as constructed. But I would not be surprised if we're talking about a trade somewhere in here, somebody being moved, like Juwan was talking about. And I think, honestly with you, I think R.J. Barrett could be the prime candidate, man, to be moved out of this offense.
Yeah, I mean, that's not wild to speculate on, considering if there's a non-man out, it will end up being RJ. But the man has been putting up the numbers. Will it continue this year? I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, he's going to. While he's a Raptor, he's going to have those games again this year. I'm just talking about them just riding this season out and the success of this team. I just think I've always started, and I had high hopes for RJ when he was in New York, but watching him over the years, I just don't think he believes that he's anything worse than the second best player on the team. Yeah. I think this is something to watch with this squad here because in my opinion, he's definitely the third best.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really argue with that. Especially bringing in Brandon Ingram, you have to go at it and think about RJ is now like the third best player, and if he could still play well and while being the third best player and not get in the way of the other two, all good gravy. But we'll find out by trade deadline if that stays consistent. But we'll see. I mean, I think they should at least give this squad till deadline to prove that they can work together. If they can't, then I mean, I'm sure there'll be teams lining up to
I agree
take RJ Barrett off their hands, no doubt. I doubt they could definitely get something for him for sure. They could slide Grady Dick right.
Oh, definitely. There'll be some suitors for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Was that everybody? Did you tell? I forget.
I did.
You did. Okay, so that's everybody. So Toronto, that was all we got on Toronto. Move on to the big game hunters right here. Okay, let's talk the big the big Kowalski over here. All right, we're moving on.
Let me get mine out so that way you guys can have your guys' 15 minutes of go ahead.
Let me introduce them, and you can go first. All right.
That way you guys can have your 15 minutes uninterrupted of just going back and forth. Yeah, we're this, we're that. Let me just get mine out.
All right, you're definitely gonna go first. Let me just finish. I didn't even say the team name yet.
Go ahead.
Who is it? I didn't even. Who is it? What's the name of the
team? Come on now.
Did you really? A little too excited. Relax. So we'll be discussing the New York Knicks now. The squad is coming off a Eastern Conference Finals run where they were unfortunately eliminated by the lowly Indiana Pacers, who are actually playing right now, funny enough. But, will they bounce back this year? We'll have to wait and see. But let's go through the starters. Won't even know. There have been some injuries as of late, but nothing major, so that's why I haven't really listed them as injury, like out for weeks injuries. We'll see. Because if they do, I'll definitely, it'll be up there. But as of right now, the starters, if everyone is healthy, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mitchell Robinson, with returning reserves of Josh Hart now coming off the bench, Miles Deuce McBride, Ariel Huck Porty, Landry Shamet, who won the final spot during training camp, Tyler Kolek, Pacome Dadier, and Kevin McCullough Jr. returning on a two-way deal. New additions You ready for this, Ditch? Jordan Clarkson, Gershon Yabusele, the former Sixer, Mohamed Diawara, they drafted from France also, like Yabusele, and Tosan Ebumwa. I learned how to pronounce that specifically for today. And Trey Jemison III. Um, I believe it's actually just called Trey Jemison because I don't think Trey is his actual name. I believe it's a nickname. But I don't know. We can get into that later. Point is, this is the roster as constituted. This is a finals team. This team should definitely a team that should definitely. The next step for this team is the finals. They got every year they've moved up one step, one step, one step. They got a new coach. They went through a major change after the losing to the Pacers in the conference finals, losing Thibodeau. Unfortunately, his time was up. Unfortunately, we signed Mike Brown in his place. Team is going to have a little bit of a different way of going about things, moving a little quicker, more spacing, more more players. They're definitely going to be using more players this year. It's not going to be as constitute like 6-7 guys tops. It's gonna. We saw them play last night. They played like 11 people. It was insane. Never saw that. It was nuts. So yeah, let's go over it. Didge, you wanted to speak before we got into the nitty gritty of the New York Knicks. What do you have to say about this precious franchise and its fan base?
Crazy. You say unfortunately a lot about Tom Thibodeau's leaving. It is not unfortunate that he led you guys to where he was going to get you guys. If you guys wanted to be a championship team, you needed to let him go. So it's smart that you guys did, because I would have had a much different tune and said, "Oh yeah, you're still going to get the Eastern Conference Finals again," because Tom Thibodeau is not a championship winning coach. I don't think he ever will be a championship winning coach unless he learns how to change how he, does his teams. So I did want to say that first off.
All right,
but this is, like you said, it's championship or bust. There's no reason why this team can't compete and win a championship, especially coming out of the East. This is, I know on Inside the NBA, they were saying like, oh, this could be like the Cavs. And I think they're just basing a lot of that off of Cavs regular season last year. I don't trust that Cavs team come playoff again. So all things considered, yeah, of course, you guys should come out of the East. Can you guys beat the presumptive Western Conference? That's where the question would come in. And that's where I just don't know. And that's not like a knock on you guys' team. I just think the champion is coming out of the West. Yeah. I don't think that there's all of the front runners in the West, I think, are just better than probably every Eastern Conference team. But if anybody is presented to probably knock it off, yeah, I think as of right now, especially looking at the way you guys ended the year last year, what you guys sort of did over the offseason, and the new coach is going to allow you to have a much different type of scheme where you're not going to run your players ragged. You guys are probably the best poised as of right now in the East. Of course, we'll see what happens as the season progresses. But yeah, now you guys can go ahead and have, your Knicks circle jerk and all that.
Oh, whoa. You were doing well. You were doing really well. No need for any of that foulness, okay? Now let us do our circle jerk in peace. Jawan, let's start it. Start jerking.
Bro, I'm not going to go off of that, bro.
Come on, Jawan. Start it up.
Go to Prime.
We no jerking over here, bro.
Oh yeah, man, this is wild. You start talking then, Joel.
I've been talking. It's your turn now.
All right. Well, don't ever pass it to me like that. That was crazy.
Oh, that was funny.
No, Didge isn't wrong. Tibbs had a cap. I viewed this situation the same way I viewed Golden State. It looked like Mark Jackson had it, even though that's a lot different. Mark Jackson,
he didn't get a chance.
They forced him to hit a cap. But again, it does seem like the way Mark Jackson was running that team was very defensively. The way Steve Kerr was running that team was hyper offensively. which is essentially what we're entering now as a handoff. Even though Tibbs weirdly went out an offensive guy whose defense lacked. Made no sense. But anyway, this Mike Brown offense, I see a million things I love. A million things I love. The spacing. The idea that Brunson doesn't have to bring the ball up. The idea that Brunson doesn't have to beat the ball into the ground. My only issue is no one on that roster outside of Mikal Bridges and Deuce McBride truly looked comfortable yesterday. And that's going to take time. So as long as that it takes time doesn't become we maybe need a season of this before we get to where we need to be, I'm fine. As long as guys can start feeling like they're catching on sooner rather than later. It just never bodes well when you have guys like Cat that are like, I'm still trying to really figure this shit out. And then you look at Brunson and it's like, that was a putrid game, a shooting game. Most of that man's points was from the free throw line. So a lot of this is going to be, how does Mike Brown get these guys prepared every day? What are the lineups he prefers? Joel, I meant to tell you, Ian was just talking about Josh has been upgraded to questionable tomorrow. Nice. So it's like Carl is also questionable. So it's a good chance Kat and Josh Hart are playing tomorrow. So then it's like, how does that look? It's a lot of moving pieces, and the pieces that we brought in are the pieces we need to play the best. And they're still trying to get comfortable. Jordan Clarkson had 4 points in a game that we won. Yabusele, I think, had no points in a game that we won. That's something that cannot continue to happen from those two guys. So as long as we can start getting things going, things fueling, guys getting more comfortable in this new system, I think we'll be just fine. I also want to say this. I see a lot of people keep saying, and Didge, this is not to you. I hear this a lot from all these pundits and whatnot, that the Knicks' best chance to get to the finals is the season like this. I would like every year like it was Disney World. The East is very competitive. It's just not as competitive as the Western Conference because of the injuries from teams. But we're not going to act like Detroit, Atlanta, Cleveland. You guys are telling me about the Pacers who are playing real close to OKC right now. There are formidable teams in the East that could give the Knicks fits. So it's not a cakewalk. It's not a guarantee. It's the Knicks are going to have to dig in, play hard, earn every game, earn every win to get to the finals. But I am with you, Didge. It is finals or bust. And I don't know where you go if you don't get to the finals. Outside of the New York Knicks is what we're aiming for.
All right, I'm gonna take all mine back. You know,
that was for that circle jerk comment. All right,
what do you mean?
I had to circle back to
everything I said was positive
until that point. All right, I was gonna talk fair. I save all that rah-rah for my personal life. This is professional. But no. So I am with Didge. It is championship or at least finals or bust. You can't.
Yeah, at least finals or bust.
At least finals or bust. I would say, yeah.
And by the way, I will say every other time where they say the East, like the East is typically pretty competitive. It's not necessarily like we're not saying the East is going to be a cakewalk. Right. Even the years never seen the East is the cakewalk for LeBron. They still had to go out there and fight. But what it is you guys are very much in the best position.
I'm just saying last year we didn't have these drastic injuries to start the postseason, and teams like Magic Magic got knocked out. Cleveland got knocked out. I think the biggest team in the East that was just riddled with injuries was probably Milwaukee.
Orlando had a big one too, though.
Yeah, Orlando never could stay healthy. Orlando,
okay, yeah. You're not wrong. I'm just saying it was less. It was less than what it looked like this year is starting, right? So it's like, and the Knicks still beat the Celtics to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I'm like, this year I see it still being a hard fought way to get there. They're gonna have to earn that shit, but it starts now. That was a good first win, sloppy win, but I'm very interested to see how Mike Brown responds with Celtics coming up, and then Miami, and then Didge next Tuesday, Knicks and the Bucks.
Yup.
Which Bucks, oh boy. But yeah, based on what I saw last night, like we saw it was a lot of new stuff, so it was like a lot to take in. But I liked what I saw. I liked a lot of what I saw. Unfortunately, they were in spurts. But what I think my favorite thing about what I saw was, even though they were sloppy at moments, and then a lot of that I believe comes from not knowing each other well enough, or playing enough minutes with each other, and maybe just making stupid mistakes. Because sometimes it was just bad. It was a bad pass or a bad shot that led to a turnover, and then that cost us. And it was almost like it happened in strings. It just kept happening back to back, and it was very annoying. But this team is definitely looking to shoot more, space more, and they could get back in the games much quicker now because of it. As long as they're hitting their shots, obviously.
Yeah.
But I like yesterday was just a very good example of like how easy a lead can be built and lost. And we did it at least 3 different times, and then technically 4, because we were up double digits at least 3 different times. Lost it the one time. We lost the lead completely in the third. Third quarter was terrible, but I like what he's trying to do. Now, they just need to be more consistent with it. And I obviously I can't wait for what everything looks like when they're fully healthy. Because there were moments yesterday where I'm like, damn it, man, we needed that rebound, and those are rebounds where I know Mitch and Josh would have had that shit. So I was like, they're missing for sure. Prime, talk to me about your New York Knickerbockers, please.
Man, a lot of hope and a lot of promise, I think, for this team. And I agree with you guys that it is finals or bust. We gotta stay healthy.
Yeah.
Mike Brown said he wanted to play fast, right? He said, before the season, he wanted to play fast. Well, we saw evidence of that last night. He said he wanted to generate more 3-point attempts. We saw that last night. So I love all of that. So my question with him is are we going, how deep is the rotation going to go? It's definitely needed. We heard, players come out, Josh Hart last year, Mikal Bridges last year voiced their thoughts on getting the guys on the bench some reps, because the guys can play, and of course it'll take some stress off the impounding off the starters. And I think Mike Brown's going to do that. We saw some players get in last night. And granted, we know Josh Hart didn't play. But Ola get minutes. We saw a lot. I think I would like to see him to find a way to get Huck Porty involved a lot more than he was last year. And I granted, I know he's going to have his opportunities probably, unfortunately, much we know what comes with that. We know what could come, of course, with Cat, right? I think he's the type of coach that's going to find a way to get Huck Porty more minutes. I'm not saying he plays every game, but I think he's going to be very important. I think it's important that he does that, especially when we get down the stretch come playoff time. I think he can be very, very valuable. Clarkson, I love that addition from the start. It's fun watching him compete, just period. I think he's going to pay dividends for the New York Knicks. If I had to look at our roster, the most important player, and it just goes without saying, because I'm not going to say Jalen Brunson, because we already know what Jalen Brunson is, right? It's to me is Bridges, man. Bridges continues to impress me last night on both ends of the court. The energy. A dude that doesn't miss basketball games. We can count on him to be there. And what he brings to this team, and what he'll bring to this team, especially in Mike Brown's offense, I think is invaluable, man. I think he's going to have a big season. I really think he's going to definitely have a big season. I don't think that it's out of the question. We're looking at him as a possible All-Star. I think he's going to be in contention. I think his name is going to be on that list. Whether he actually makes it, I don't know. But I think Bridges is going to have a shot, at least be talked about as a All-Star this coming year. Really huge. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited, about this team and to see exactly where we could go. I know there are some questions about, Mike Brown as a leader, right? But I think the way we're constructed, and I think between the coaches on that bench and some of the players that we have, I don't think that's really going to be an issue. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Not getting his own way, but I'm very, very promising. I think this team is, and I got a lot of high hopes and a lot of expectations for this squad.
I don't think you're alone. I don't think you're alone. Look, you're talking about Bridges. I think Bridges has probably benefited the most, at least last night. Oh, even through the preseason, Mikal Bridges has looked really, really good in this new offense, where he's definitely getting him. They're having him break out early, so he get easy buckets. So it's not like you don't have to bring up the ball if you're already out there. I'll just throw you the ball, and he's definitely benefited a lot. Obviously, Deuce looked good last night, most of the time because he was just hitting the open threes, which thank God. But yeah, man, like there's a lot to like. Landry had a good game. Kolek got minutes. I was so shocked Kolek got minutes.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, okay, we're still searching for that point guard situation. Is he really going to get like the minutes before they, make a decision? Have to make a decision late in the season if it comes to that. Do they need to make a move, at some point?
I guess it's the best way to find out, right?
It's definitely the best way to find out. And then maybe this whole offense and rotation thing benefits him. I think the thing I love the most about this is, and I think one of you guys touched on it earlier, is the fact that Jalen Brunson is probably not going to have to shoulder a lot of what he shouldered the past couple of seasons. I think there's a real chance for him not to have as much wear and tear on his body. There's a real chance that he's not going to have to be the man as much as he's had to be a lot of times during the season. And I think, look, man, if it comes down to the point, and let's say his points per game just, happen to dip by 2 or 3 points here and there. I think as long as we win, and I think that the New York crowd would be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it takes a lot away from his shine because he's, the captain's still going to be the captain, man. And he's going to make those shots. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, not all the time, but a lot in those pressure situations. And I think, even if his points per game were to happen, to take a little bit of a dip, based on the way this offense is probably going to be run and the contributions from these other guys, OG going to still be OG. He's going to give us those threes and here and there. He's going to have his nights. I think we'll be okay with that, man.
Well,
I agree.
Well, where I slightly disagree, Prime, is the way this offense is supposed to be suited, his numbers shouldn't go down. They should go up. The whole point of this offense is to get him easier looks. That's why I said he looked so uncomfortable because he was playing the way he's used to playing.
Well,
and I think it's a learning curve of the idea of no, we can actually do screens to get you open. We can do backdoor cuts to get you
I agree.
You don't have to clear out and try to back someone down and bait someone into a and one. We can just get you easier looks. So his numbers should either be around where they were last year or slightly go up if they're playing the exact way Mike Brown is saying he wants them to play.
Well, I'm not saying that they're going to go down. I still think there's the possibility because while I do agree with you about getting easier looks for him, I also believe Mike Brown's offense is about not relying on him, having to rely on him as much. When they talked about playing faster, that wasn't just about Jalen Brunson. When he talked about early in the season about shooting more threes or quick, generating more three attempts, that wasn't just about Jalen Brunson. That's about excellent corner shooters, as OG, getting shots in games. That's about Cat getting, easy looks, even though he didn't always have to be open to shoot it. That's about Mikal Bridges being able to take it deep. That's definitely about Deuce McBride. We saw that last night. We know Deuce can stroke it. but that's also about him being able to be in a position to generate more threes. So while I agree with you about it's made to be easier for for our guy, I don't think it's just about Brunson. I don't think it's all the way about Brunson. I think it's maybe 50-50. It's about Brunson being able to get easier looks, but it's also about these other guys being in positions where they can take the shot. And Mike Brown loves your three. We're gonna be jacking up some threes, man. It's just gonna happen. And we got plenty of other guys on this team that can do that.
No, you're not wrong, but I think you should look at it more like what the season looked like for Curry and Durant.
Right.
Right? It should look more so like that. Now, technically, our Durant is more so a committee more than a specific player. I mean, unless Mikal Bridges wants to be a Durant. I ain't got a problem with that if he wants to turn into Durant real quick.
Right.
But I think it'll be more of a committee, and I think the heartbeat is Brunson. I mean, Mike Brown even said it yesterday. He was saying we want to kind of go, kind of make things easier for everyone in the flow of the game. But when the fourth quarter comes, that's Brunson time. So that's why I said Brunson's numbers shouldn't necessarily dip all that much, especially in close games. They're still going to need him to be Captain Clutch.
Yes.
He just has to accept the idea that you don't have to have the ball in your hand constantly.
Agreed.
There's better ways for you the shots that you want, the looks that you want. And I think yesterday he was just struggling with that. Because you saw him kept going to what he knows, which is mid-range, going to the guy, turn around, fader, right? But he's stopping the momentum of the play when he does that. So it's like he just has to get more used to and more comfortable with the idea of the offense free-flowing and him getting it as the offense goes.
He's going to get open looks, That's the thing. A lot more now. So you just got to get used to getting – you're going to be open. Take the shot. You don't have to dribble,
Yeah.
So less work for him. It should take some of that wear and tear off of him too. I think that was obviously the point, so they don't have to constantly getting double teamed or. But at the end of the day, he had 23 on a really really bad shooting night. So imagine if he actually made his shot.
He's gonna have his nights. I think the one thing that I want to see, and it didn't last night, didn't make me feel any better, is Cat. Man, Cat's got to stop getting in foul trouble.
Yeah,
he has to. This dude. If there's one thing that pissed me off last year, and it came right into this season, we saw yesterday. He sometimes commits some of the dumbest fouls though. Some of them, and I love Cat, but some of the dumbest fouls, and he's got to get away from that, man. He's got to get away from that, because we're gonna need him on the floor.
He had two yesterday that were mind-boggling.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It was obvious you grabbed his arm. I could see it from here. You grabbed his arm. What are you doing?
It was funny though. He tried to play that off because he showed the one angle. I'm like, well, darn, did he bump him? And you see that, like, darn. You know what I'm saying?
What are you doing, man? Come on.
I will say this though. I think a lot of his stupidity in fouls yesterday, I think, could play a little bit into his injury. Him not being able to move the way that he wants to. So it's like I can't keep up with Jared Allen and Mobley right now. So I'm grabbing your arm. I don't know what to tell you, dog. I can't move as fast as I want to right now. So here, I'm let me take this quick foul. I so
credit to the Knicks for out rebounding them Cavs again without Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson. Still had Cat. But they did their thing. Fuck, OG had 14 boards.
Rebounded.
Yeah, OG fucking came and rebounded.
Bridges too. Yeah.
Man, it was nice. Yeah, they all got some boards over there. That's how you're supposed to play. I hate getting. Nothing I hate more than being out rebounded, dude. It's very frustrating. And I think Jared Allen had 4 rebounds. I'm like, that's embarrassing. Come on, that's insane. If that was my starting, I'd be livid. Just saying. I'm not trying to talk shit, but you can't. No, absolutely not. I don't even know. What did let me see. What did he have? Mobley. I'm sorry. Evan Mobley had 8 rebounds, 22 points. He had a great game offensively. It was the rebounding in general, in total for them, that really I think will let them down. Obviously, there was free throw disparity because we were getting to the line a lot more. But man, let me tell you, it's going to be a crazy year. I'm excited, a little bit nervous. Every time it's high expectations, it's a little nerve wracking. But I think if this works out the way Mike Brown wants it to work out, it can work. There's definitely some positives to look forward to, and once we're fully healthy, I can't wait to see how it looks with everyone playing and who ends up, what the rotation is at the end of the day. Because right now we played 11 dudes, but like how many? Some of those guys are not gonna play. Be realistic, considering once Josh and Mitch get back. So what's the real rotation look like? Who gets those minutes and how we work them in? Because it was there were points yesterday where it was almost like a hockey lineup, and they were coming in and out. We were getting different like I think in the second quarter they brought in like Clarkson and Kolek together after they didn't play at all the first quarter, some shit. And I was like, this is crazy. I don't know. This is
I got a quick question though.
Go ahead.
Do you guys think that Dadier is gonna make it through the season?
You mean
it's been a lot of talk about some teams that are very interested in him. It's like, and if that's the case, I'm thinking that if it comes down to it and they have to make a move, if they figure out they want to go a different direction, probably in the point guard situation, I think he is a guy to watch. And I like him. I think he has a ton of potential, especially offensively. But I just don't know if he's going to make it through the season with us.
I think he makes it through the season unless there's a knock on wood, a significant injury.
Right.
And we need to move him so that money frees up so that we can make said move. But outside of that, there's no need to.
I like him too. I really do.
I do too, and I want to save him for the honest trick. I don't want to.
Yeah, man.
Letting y'all have y'all time, and this the thanks I get.
I want OGM and Dottie to enjoy their time in Milwaukee. No,
but like I don't know. We'll see. As of right now, I want to keep him. He's a young dude. I don't want to give up on a guy that kind of potential because he's 6'8" with range. For a long time, our biggest issue we didn't have big wings. So now we have a couple big wings. I'm pretty happy with Diawara and Dadier, even Ebumwa. That guy's long too. And they're all young. I want to keep those guys around. I like big wings. We're gonna need them. We're gonna need the size. So if like you said, if maybe they change their mind, they feel like they need a better, more, or if there is a veteran point guard that becomes available that we need to make room, maybe. But as of right now, let's see. Let's run it. Let's run it through. We're not like before. It was almost like a crunch to make room because we really at the time we wanted Brogdon and we wanted to bring back Shaman. So it did look like he would probably be the odd man out. But once Brogdon retired, I was like, there's really no point.
Yeah,
that's what it came down to.
Indeed.
But I really want to hear one last thing from you. We hogged up a lot of the time. Did you have anything more to say on the Knicks before we ended the show?
I do not. I said everything I'd had to say.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate everything you had to say, aside from the circle jerk. You can take that back.
No. I hope y'all had fun.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, we did have fun for different reasons. But, yes, this was a good show. I had a lot of fun talking. And we went through all 6 divisions. I had a great time. It was it's literally just we've only had 2 days. We're in the middle of the 3rd day of the NBA. I'm very happy to have it back. I can't wait to talk basketball with y'all again. Probably I'm gonna say mid-season during the All-Star break. We'll talk maybe right before it, so we can talk like who might get in instead of like who actually gets in. So we'll do our predictions and all that. I can't wait to go over that, like our All-Star predictions and maybe some early awards predictions and talk about what's going on mid-season because that should be a good season. See where our teams are at. We can discuss that. Hopefully everything goes good. Knock on wood. And we don't have to worry about anything significantly, at least negatively, But it still should be a good season. Everyone, I'm happy you guys came out and and did this with me for the last couple weeks. I appreciate it. Sorry for being late because I don't know. Today of all day, they just wanted to fuck with me. I don't know what it was. I was like, yeah, it's the last day. We're gonna make it really late today. But no, I appreciate it. Thank you, Didge, for working the slides. Thanks, Prime and Juwan for showing up, making the show. Again, thanks everybody. I mean, let's go out. Well, Juwan, where can they find you, Juwan?
You know the rules. Don't follow me. Follow your dreams.
Yep.
What if their dream is to find you?
Oh,
That is their dream.
Sleep harder. I don't know.
Have better dreams.
Yeah, have better dreams.
Didge, where can they find you?
You can find me at DidgeD everywhere. Yeah, follow me there. You'll see what I'm doing.
There you go. Fuck it. Prime, where can they find you, dude?
You can find me on X. You can find me at Prime SBK, and on YouTube and Facebook, you can find me the SBP. That's a Sports Bar podcast, as well as the SBP. Some nights, most Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. ish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're usually on there. Sometimes we show up, pop our heads in there. Prime show in the morning, talk some football. Maybe I'll do that, even though I'm a little depressed over last week. But but we can talk it through. You could I've done much. I mean, we have our normal show, our Much Ado About Nothing show. It's on our Wednesday, our geek show. It's usually on Wednesday. So if you like our NBA show, you'll love our geeky show. We do some fun talking over there for sure. These guys pop up once in a blue moon, so it's always fun, always good. So definitely come back and for that show and their shows and all this. Follow them, follow us, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And on that note, for everybody, good night. Peace.